Here are 18 times The Simpsons predicted the future, in order of their appearance on the show. 1. Three-Eyed Fish, Season 2, Episode 4. In this episode from 1990, Bart catches a three-eyed fish named Blinky in the river by the power plant, which makes local headlines. More than a decade later, a three-eyed fish was discovered in a reservoir in Argentina. Strangely enough, the reservoir itself was fed by water from a nuclear power plant. 2. The Censorship of Michelangelo's David, Season 2, Episode 9. An episode from 1990 titled Itchy and Scratchy and Marge showed Springfieldians protesting against Michelangelo's statue of David being exhibited in the local museum, calling the artwork obscene for its nudity. The satire of censorship came true in July 2016, when Russian campaigners voted on whether to clothe a copy of the Renaissance statue that had been set up in central St. Petersburg. 3. Letter from the Beatles, Season 2, Episode 18. In 1991, an episode of The Simpsons saw the Beatles as Ringo Starr diligently answering fan mail that had been written decades ago. In September 2013, two Beatles fans from Essex received a reply from Paul McCartney to a letter and recording they sent to the band 50 years ago. The recording was sent to a London theatre the band was due to play at but was found years later in a car boot sale by a historian. In 2013, the BBC's The One Show reunited the pair with their letter, plus a reply from McCartney. 4. Siegfried and Roy Tiger Attack, Season 5, Episode 10. The Simpsons parodied entertainers Siegfried and Roy in a 1993 episode called Dollar Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gun Bullying. During the episode, the magicians are viciously mauled by a trained white tiger while performing in a casino. In 2003, Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy was attacked during a live performance by Montecore, one of their white tigers. He lived but sustained severe injuries in the attack. 5. Horse Meat Scandal, Season 5, Episode 19. In 1994, lunch lady Doris used assorted horse parts to make lunch for students at Springfield Elementary. 9 years later, the Food Safety Authority of Ireland found horse DNA in over one-third of beef burger samples from supermarkets and ready meals, and pig in 85% of them. 6. Autocorrect, Season 6, Episode 8. School bullies Carney and Dolph take a memo to beat up Martin on a Newton device in an episode of The Simpsons that aired in 1994. The memo gets quickly translated to eat up Martha, an early foreshadowing of autocorrect frustrations. The Simpsons was lampooning Apple's underwhelming Newton, the iPhone's ancient ancestor, that had just been released, and included shoddy handwriting recognition, according to Fast Company. Nitin Ganatra, former director of engineering iOS applications at Apple, told Fast Company that this particular moment on The Simpsons served as inspiration to get the iPhone keyboard right. 7. Smartwatches, Season 6, Episode 19. The Simpsons introduced the idea of a watch you could use as a phone in an episode aired in 1995, nearly 20 years before the Apple Watch was released. 8. The Invention of the Shard, Season 6, Episode 19. The Lisa's Wedding episode from 1995 came with a lot of unexpected predictions. During Lisa's trip to London, we see a skyscraper behind Tower Bridge that looks eerily similar to the Shard, and it is even in the right location. Construction on the building started in 2009, 14 years later. 9. Robotic Librarians, Season 6, Episode 19. In Lisa's Wedding, we discover that librarians have been replaced with robots in the Simpsons universe. More than 20 years later, robotics students from the University of Aberystwyth built a prototype for a walking library robot, while scientists in Singapore have begun testing their own robot librarians. 10. The Discovery of the Higgs boson equation, Season 8, Episode 1. In a 1998 episode called The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer Simpson becomes an inventor and is shown in front of a complicated equation on a blackboard. According to Simon Singh, the author of The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets, the equation predicts the mass of the Higgs boson particle. It was first predicted in 1964 by Professor Peter Higgs and 5 other physicists, but it wasn't until 2013 that scientists discovered proof of the Higgs boson in a £10.4 billion ($13 billion) experiment.